Hello and welcome to the 2-year anniversary special of the
Geeks.
Three Drunk
The
Geeks
Drunk Three Geeks.
podcast. The only nerd talk show podcast that stays crunchy even in milk. My name is James Laird,
I'm Nicholas Grover.
And I'm Neil Picard.
and together we make up the Three Drunk Geeks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you are joining us for this live stream on Ustream. This is our first foray into doing a little bit more video stuff. We've done some here and there with mixed results, but we're getting better.
Were they really mixed, though? They're all pretty much terrible. I would say it's
Do we
pretty
have-
uniform in results.
I do wish you'd bring back Jury of One's beers.
We can do one as soon as I'm done with Hole 30.
All right, all right.
Now, since this is our first time live, do we know when people are watching us or not?
I think
Is that a thing?
I think that might mean people are in there, but I'm not entirely sure. So let's see here.
That was just us talking.
Oh, that was just us, our test.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, that's okay. Whether people are tuning in or not, they're going to see this later because it's going to be on YouTube. So we want to first start by thanking you for helping us through 2 years of this bullshit. And I don't know if I'm lying when I say bullshit because a lot of it has been.
It has been a lot of bullshit. I would say our biggest talent is in bullshit. We're really good at it, at least.
It's been a learning experience. We've had to learn to do a lot of different things that we had no idea how to do ever in the past before. So, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
we're just learning how to do this
Yeah.
right now.
Ustream kind of like, despite
I hope we're not too loud because I keep seeing us like peak really high. So I turned us down a little bit, but I hope people can still hear us. Yes.
Well, despite the fact that we've been talking about this for weeks, this is kind of a very last minute setup, but we think we've got it. So let's go on to our meat and potatoes portion of the show here. First off, let's see, Grover, you have a long list of people that we need to thank for helping us get where we are at this point.
Yeah, because really, although we're doing all
wow,
the...
that's a long.
Yeah, it is a
Yes,
long.
it's a very...
I love how you're staring at his
Gaze-
crotch. Wow, that's
gaze
very
deep
long.
into my
That is
crotch.
a long hemline. Jesus.
Right. We couldn't do this by ourselves, although it feels like we do. We really don't. We need the support of people who have basically been around us and are willing to give their talent to us for basically free.
And
Except
their
in the
time.
editing department.
Yeah, well, exactly.
All of these people have helped, but not in the editing department.
Because
Shame on you.
no one wants to help you with editing, Neil. Not
Right.
at all.
Not even we don't even want to do
Even we
it.
don't want to help you with
When
editing.
we're done with the podcast, I just leave. I just go home.
This is true.
It's like, yeah, I've got to
Well,
go
later.
see my girlfriend.
It's like, but Grover, you're too drunk to drive. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
It's okay. I gotta get out of here.
Anyway, so we're going to do our shout-outs right now. We're going to start off with Jeff Jones, as always.
Woo, Jeff Jones.
Jeff Jones is absolutely fantastic. He designs all of our artwork for us. Every logo, business card, banner, every bit of episode
Bruce
art.
Banner.
Bruce Banner. Every bit of episode art is done by Jeff Jones.
Right.
He does it for free. Literally, he doesn't ask us for anything.
He does it seriously just because he likes us, which is ridiculous because we don't even like each other.
Right.
Like, I don't
Barely.
like either of you. I don't like myself. Why does he... How come he likes us?
I
He
love
likes
myself.
us enough for us, basically.
We have kept this show going for the last 2 years over a solid bond of hate for each other.
Yeah, no, that's right. And Jeff Jones is sort of in there, like keeping... He's the glue. He's the salty glue that keeps us together.
Oh.
I thought our just desire to eke out of this whole like no, we are so much better than this. We can share our thoughts and people might enjoy it. You know,
Possibly.
that's what I thought it was keeping us together.
Well, you
My
know,
nose won't
and
stop
we'll
freaking-
we'll talk more about that because that
Right.
actually goes into our past and how we started. So who else do we have on this list here, sir?
Okay, designated Dan Anderson.
Dan Anderson,
wow.
also known as Jack Sullivan.
Right.
Whether you love him or hate him, he was a friend of ours and one of our very first supporters and guests on the show. Helped us
Right.
get several guests on our show. And he moved out to California to try and make it big. And he's doing what he's loving. He's performing. He's part of a burlesque troupe, and he's also doing, of course, Rocky Horror, which he loves to do. And all the while, I think, trying to further his career in music and/or acting. So best of luck to him. We love you. We hate you. We love to hate you. You're kind of a douche.
And I
But-
think that's what he wants to hear.
Yeah, but
I think that's what makes him feel warm at
he's
night.
kind of a lovable douche. So
A lovable douche.
Dan was like our first guest on our show,
Right.
Just as another, opinion, I guess. And boy, was he an opinion.
Boy, was he an
Sometimes
opinion.
he wasn't even our first guest. He was just a guy in the
He
room.
was just there.
Guy
he was the
in
guy on the
room.
couch.
Yep. Back in those days where we were all huddled around an iMac.
And studio
all huddled
Hotbox.
around an iPad for warmth.
Yeah, seriously.
It was so cold in that stuffy ass room during the middle of summer with no AC in that
Right.
damn apartment because he didn't wear clothes.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Son
who
of
else
a
do we
bitch.
have?
We have Elisa X and Kira Corellia. They were both members of the Apocalypse Girls back when I was still a thing. Both of them have been guests on our show.
Right.
And we do need to mention the fact that show with Elisa never actually got
Yeah, the thing is,
finished.
A
Elisa-
lot of them never did.
Elisa, unfortunately, and it's nothing personal, Elisa. You've been our guest to talk about multiple things from video games to like to the hacking activities such as maker spaces and things like that. All sorts of really cool nerdy shit. But you seem to have this really bad stroke of luck where when you're on an episode, it doesn't get released.
Right. Something about your presence just taxes us, and we don't have the will to do anything for about a week or a week and a half afterward.
Right? Yeah. No. I don't think it's Elisa. I really don't. I think it's just we are drunk and occasionally stoned, and yeah. So anyway, who else we got?
Zach Higgins.
Mr. Zach Higgins.
Hey, Zach was helping me out just the other day.
Yes.
That's awesome. That
Lovable horror enthusiast and booze monger, Zach Higgins.
Zach
booze
Hig-
mongrel.
Booze mongrel.
Zach Higgins is our man on the inside at BevMo, Beverages and
The
More.
old beverage monster.
And he is always recommending really awesome stuff to us, beers and alcohol, and he's getting us all sorts of cool hookups, like with the awesome mystery box he pointed out to you there, Neil.
Oh my God. Well, actually, my girlfriend Jessie found that on one of the beer groups that she's on, and then when we got there, he totally surprised me. I had no idea he was working, and he didn't even recognize Jessie. It was kind of funny. He's like, "Do you need any help tonight?" Okay, good. And he sees me, and then goes, "Wait, double take." And he's like, "Do you need anything tonight, sir?" And I was like, "Just you, Zach. Just you."
So did you have him?
The beers or Zach?
Zach.
I don't kiss and tell.
Anyway, we're planning tentatively. We haven't talked to Mr. Higgins about this, but we do want to have him back around Halloween time because he's always a pleasure with his Halloween horror knowledge.
Oh yeah.
His own blog, The Midnight Jamboree. Be sure and check him out online. Awesome, cool guy. One of my favorites.
Moving on, we have Science of Drinking and Brad and Captain Fuentes from That's.
Anthony Fuentes and Brad Walling, two really awesome gentlemen with a love of nerdy booze, just like us.
Right.
Now, also we knew them, of course, through Phoenix Comic Con.
Right. Actually, he was Captain Fuentes for a long time because, well, when we first started doing PCC, he was the head of the Star Trek department, and that's how we got our in.
That's exactly. But again, will you keep leading up to what we're supposed to be talking about later, sir?
Hey, I've just given them something to think
Right,
about.
this is true. No, Anthony absolutely played a big part in helping us become the Three Drunk Geeks, and we love him. He's a great friend, and he and Brad make some really tasty stuff. You can find them on WordPress, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, it's the Science of Drinking.
yes.
Google them.
And the other thing is that even for a couple of our parties that we've thrown in house here, at Studio APT and the other places, we've used some of their recipes on our menus because
Right. No, absolutely.
they're actually very good and
For a
yes,
good.
I was going to say extremely unique, and sometimes because they're just flavor combos that you would never think.
No,
Right.
absolutely. I mean, the Sarlacc Pit. What was in that one?
There was a coconut. There was a
Wasn't
root
the-
beer liqueur and something.
Black Maker root beer liqueur.
There was a dark gin.
It was. Oh, it was.
or dark rum.
It
I'm
was
sorry.
no. The Sarlacc Pit was Drambuie root beer
Oh, that's
liqueur
what it
and
was.
cream soda. I'm pretty sure.
Oh man.
And it was
Drambuie.
surprisingly good.
Ugh.
Actually, it was really good.
Yeah. So Science of Drinking, awesome guys. We love them. They've been a huge help to us and huge supporters of us.
Yes, and also AZ Power Girl and Alfred Trujillo.
The titular AZ Power Girl.
Yes. No pun there
No
at
puns
all.
intended. Her and her boobiary. We love Kara Nicole and her wonderful husband, Alfred Trujillo. Fantastic people. Alfred Trujillo is a local comic book artist, does some great work. He even drew, and this bothers me to this day, he drew Grover as Spider-Man, as he's holding Stan Lee.
Actually, I'm actually a Mary Jane, and,
Oh.
and Stan Lee is Spider-Man, and we're having a date.
Oh, right, you're right.
It's pretty awesome.
I
I
think-
think it's neat.
Yeah.
And I actually got Stan Lee to sign it, and so I think that was the second thing that he's gotten
Right.
signed by Stan Lee.
Now, you may recognize the name AZ Power Girl from, of course, Kara's...
Any con.
Yeah, any con here in the
Yeah.
Southwest.
They're at all of them.
Yeah, so she has some really great artwork. Be sure and check her out online as well.
Right, we love them.
We
and
do.
and you know what? They'll bring us beer when we're just angry at each other for some reason.
You know why I really like Kara? She's I know she's vegetarian. I can't remember if she's vegan or not.
She's vegan.
I want to say she's vegan. Yeah, she's a vegan. No. Hear me out. She's a vegan, but she doesn't complain. And she doesn't preach the vegan.
She's a noble vegan.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm vegan. Whatever. You don't have anything I can eat? Meh. Whatever.
Jim Miller.
Jim Miller.
Jim Miller.
Jim Miller.
Jim Miller, the leader of the Apocalypse Girls, Geek
He-
Associated
Whoa, what?
Press.
What?
He's the Charlie of the Apocalypse
He
Girls,
was the
basically.
Charlie of the Apocalypse Girls. He does all sorts of cool, awesome local geek coverage with his video stuff, and he was also a huge inspiration and help with us as well.
And he
Right.
filled in for me during my my long stay in the Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone.
Sobriety Land?
Sobriety Land, yeah.
Grover went
That
to
sounds like the
rehab.
worst vacation ever.
Yeah, it's the place in Disneyland no one goes to.
Oh.
Actually, all of Disneyland is sobriety zone.
Not true.
We've been to
no,
that place.
No, Disneyland proper.
Actually,
I mean, you
still-
can't drink in there, but you
Still
can be...
no longer true. Blue Bayou now serves alcohol.
Oh, I forgot about that. Damn it.
Neat.
That's why I
Well,
need to
now
go
we gotta-
Disneyland. I know.
So now we
I've
need to
been-
go to Blue Bayou.
I haven't been to Blue Bayou in a long time. Anyway, so who else we got on this list here, sir?
Matt and Jen from Nerd Noms and Getting Crafty. They've been on our show several times.
Matt and Jen Hines.
I love Matt and
Two
Jen.
of my favorite people ever. Jen does all sorts of really crafty, amazing stuff, and she always brings us cool things.
She put my face on a pumpkin.
Right, and then someone stole it.
And someone
And
stole it.
someone stole it. And then at PCC, they put my face on a watermelon, and I left it in their hotel room.
And then
you-
Gallagher smashed
It
it.
was Walter Melon.
It was Walter Melon.
Меня зовут Walter Melon.
But check out any of the
Melon.
earlier episodes with Jen and Matt and Getting Crafty with Jen because she will teach you how to do some really cool stuff.
Oh, she made us those stockings out of dress shirts and ties.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. Those were really cool.
Yes,
And she
but
made us
th-
dress shirts out of salami and pepperoni.
Not yet, but
That-
that's
that-
her next project.
Can she do that?
Meat
Is that
coats.
a-
Can you please make us meat trench coats?
Yes.
So that we can go to like
Jen-
BronyCon?
Will they? Can we laminate them so that they don't like go bad?
We just eat them as soon as we're done with them.
With like a sausage belt.
Right.
It sounds like I'd be done with it in 10 minutes.
I wouldn't mind having like a sausage belt like Chewbacca's belt.
No, I'm thinking like if
Like
we're going meat trench coats, the
A
belt,
bandolier,
the
a
belt has to
sausage
be made of-
bandolier.
a sausage bandolier.
the belt around for the trench coat has to be a string of
No,
sausages.
you need like one of those Rambo belts with like all the the machine gun belts
Right, yeah,
filled
but
with
they're
Jimmy
like
Dean
Vienna.
sausages.
Yeah, like breakfast sausages. Yeah.
All right, who else we got?
I just shut down everything.
Yes,
yeah.
you did because you're a horrible person.
Tom and Denise and their various spawn, who've been around us for quite some time.
Right,
Yay,
Tom and
Tom
Denise,
and
Hanks,
Denise.
two of our biggest
Tom was just
supporters.
here.
Tom was just here, but we made him leave because we don't want his smelly face around here.
Right.
His Smelly Face Ruins podcast.
Yeah. So Tom and Denise, we love you. They've been a huge support to us just as friends for the show, and helped a lot of get a lot of listeners to for us in this case.
Yeah.
Also, I really want to go back to Matt and Jen real quick and say if you are in the Phoenix area or the Arizona area and you're not part of their Phoenix Comic Con group, it is the
You're fucking up.
it is the unofficial official Phoenix Comic Con group on Facebook.
Say that again.
It's the unofficial official Phoenix Comic Con group. It's not technically put on by the convention, but they are technically staffed because they run that group.
Mm.
And it's just a great place for nerds to hang out online, meet new friends, peddle your wares, things like that.
Last I saw,
pedal my wares.
last I saw, they have over 3,000 members.
4,000 now.
Ooh.
Oh my Jesus, that's a lot of
That is
people.
a lot of people.
So yeah, they work really hard with that.
Yeah, the Blue Ribbon Army is forever.
All right.
Moving on, Larry Nemeczek,
Larry.
our one
Larry.
celebrity friend.
Yeah. Larry Nemeczek was the editor for Star Trek magazine, and wrote several books, of course, about the topic of Star Trek. He's a really cool guy. We've met him through Phoenix Comic Con, and we got to interview him about his latest work, and that was the Star Trek Stellar Cartography set, which is mind-blowing. It's just pretty
Well, we
awesome.
also talked to him about Star Trek Continues as well.
Right. And I'm really sad to say that he's not returning for the next few episodes. He played Bones for the first couple, but I think he chose not to continue. So,
Now they're going to get a Shemp
right.
to replace him.
Damn Shems.
Speaking of Star Trek Continues, they just premiered the third episode at the Star Trek convention last night.
Oh yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
hear about it? Anything?
I've not heard
interesting?
much about it, but I heard it was good, but I haven't heard much about it yet. So I'm excited to see what happens because Star Trek Continues is really amazing for any Star Trek fan. It picks up right where the original series left off.
Okay, moving on, we've got GNN's own Hong Lee.
Hong has really helped us quite a bit because without the exposure that Geek News Network offers us, we wouldn't have nearly as many followers as we
Right.
do.
Also, his hair is amazing.
His
Just
hair
gonna
is amazing.
scooch in
He's
on
got
you.
he's got sexy Asian hair.
Oh
he?
God!
Yeah.
Stop it! Stop it! Ah! Stop it!
Yeah,
No!
it's a Grover witch.
No!
There's too much
No!
cholesterol in this Grover
Stop
witch.
it!
All right,
He's
all right.
gonna get all fat.
So yeah, geeknewsnetwork.net. Check them out. All sorts of cool, geeky, nerdy coverage on movies, TV, comic books, cosplay, things like that.
Next, we have the Earl of Sound.
The Earl of Sound,
The Earl of Sound.
our newest audio guy. Why do I feel like our audio position is quickly becoming the like the drummer in Spinal Tap?
Because I did it for a while, and then we got another one.
And then we got another one.
Because being the audio person requires actually listening to us. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you ever tried doing that, but
yeah.
Well,
We listen to it when we edit.
right.
When do you listen to the show?
never.
Hey, okay, so this is a good time to stop since he gets to drink his beer. I'm going to open my beer. This beer is super awesome. It's a Beer Camp beer from the Beer Camp 12-pack from Sierra Nevada, and I'm out of frame. This is the last one. It's the one I was most excited about. It is a cross between the Electric Ray and the I'm sorry, I am stupid as hell. It is
Yes,
a cross
yes, you
between
are.
Sierra Nevada and Ballast Point Brewing. It is an IPA with citrus flavors. I'm going to open this up right now just because I saw you got to drink a beer and I didn't have a chance to open my beer and
That's
I was
fine.
getting beer jealous.
Let's keep this rolling, bud.
Anyway, go ahead. Good morning.
Jesse.
Oh, Jessie Bush. Jessie Bush is my girlfriend. I love you to death. You are the love of my life.
Aw.
She has helped me a lot through this.
So
She's
sweet.
given me a lot of good ideas.
And she puts up with us stealing you.
Yeah,
Quite often.
So let's give her like a big super like round of applause.
I'm doing it in my head because I'm
Alright.
carrying things.
You are carrying
My
things here.
thing. Thank you. We'll do a little. There we go.
Oh, wait, what just?
Just
oh,
yeah.
oh, we're not.
No.
Oh, we're not doing that.
No.
No.
Okay.
All right. Who else we got?
Max and Dusty from the BB&B and B&B.
Beers, Beards, and
B,
Bastards.
B, B, B. That's a lot of B's.
Yeah.
A podcast currently going through its reformat, but was fairly popular too, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. We had a great time. We loved their shows, and Max Dennett was a good friend of mine and Neil's from way back, junior high to high school. So, so we want to just say thank you to them because we were on their show. They've been on ours. Max filled in for Grover while he was in rehab, and it was good times.
I thought he was shot by the Joker.
Well,
I thought he was shot by the Joker.
I thought he was in the Phantom Zone.
You go to rehab when you're shot by the Joker.
Right.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure I was there.
Right.
And then we have Eric, Steve-O, and Matt Renfro from Socially Awkward.
Socially Awkward Studios, another great podcast, and of course part of a really larger group of podcasts, the Four Eyed Radio Network. They have lots of awesome podcast shows on there. Neil, you enjoy
Is your
that?
beer good? Because
It's
you're
fantastic.
looks like you're having a beergasm.
Can I?
Yeah,
Try-
you need to try that, James.
All right. So tell us about it.
I don't have the bottle on the top, but to me, it's
Whoa.
it's. What'd you think?
Bitter.
You didn't like the hops?
No,
I thought the
it's-
hops were a different type of. Well, I don't know how to describe the hops, but they weren't as bitey, but they were bold. It was like a wide flavor instead of a pointy flavor. I describe
That's
flavors
a
and
weird,
shapes.
yeah.
It's a very autistic thing to do.
Well, you're very autistic.
So Grover,
No, I'm not.
while we're doing some drinking here, what are you drinking there, bud?
I'm drinking here a Moscow Mule.
Awesome. One of my personal favorite cocktails.
You want to try this beer?
No.
No, I'm fine.
What is in the Moscow Mule there, sir?
I'm using Russian Standard vodka and Cock and Bull
Isn't that a Russian
style.
standard?
It is a
It
Russian.
is, yes.
Hey, that's pretty
It
neat.
didn't-
Didn't it actually come in a set?
You did.
Okay.
It did. So,
A Moscow Mule set.
one of the simplest cocktails ever: vodka, lime juice, ginger beer, and it's delicious.
Swidge of wine.
It's refreshing.
And a swidge of lime.
Swidge of wine.
Yep, swidge of lime.
Swidge of wine.
Swidge of wine.
We've got Joshua, the man of silver. Silver man.
This guy's awesome, man. Like his house is really suave too.
Yes,
man.
it is.
Yeah. No, Josh
I've
Silverman
peed in it.
of
Me too.
constantlycalibrating.com, I believe is the actual website. But he does a podcast like we do called Constantly Calibrating. And he is super geeky, mostly focusing a lot of video game stuff, which is great because we don't touch on as much video game stuff as he does. So we can
We
be
don't
like,
have time to sit around and play video games all day. We're too busy drinking.
I know. Drinking takes a lot out of you folks. I don't know about you, but I mean, I
You
can't.
have to go out. You have to find the place that has the beer that you want to try.
Right.
And then
Right.
you have to figure out what you're going to eat with the beer.
Exactly.
You have to patch things up with your friends later.
And then you're like drunk, later in the afternoon. The last thing you want to do is like, turn on the Connect and start playing something.
Later in the
Right.
afternoon, like I get home from the bar, it's like 2 in the afternoon. I'm drunk as shit.
Lunch break.
Usually.
All right. Does that conclude our
Nope, we got a
thanks?
few more. We
got
got
a few more.
Scott Gore for helping us out with getting all that audio.
Yeah, he
equipment.
gave us that discount
Yes.
at Guitar Center.
Scott Gore of Guitar Center. We want to thank you very much because of you. We were able to get a very reasonable price on all of our equipment, our audio stuff ever. So thank you.
I've only met him once, but he seems like a pretty cool
He's
guy.
a cool motherfucker.
We got
My
the,
favorite Satanist, actually. He is my
Re-
favorite. Yeah.
He's a Satanist? Like a going to Satan mass Satanist?
Oh, I wish I had more of a burp.
I'm
for
not
that.
entirely sure of how much he practices, but
Should have him on.
Satanus.
anyway,
The Wads, Patty Holstrand, who we actually went on her show.
yeah,
Once.
And the
yeah,
Wad.
she was the first person to ever have us on another podcast. So
And it
Yeah.
kind of got us used to technical difficulties
Yeah.
in a way that we didn't really understand technical difficulties. We have Icon and PCC and TCC and all the other cons that we go to
absolutely,
on the regular. And also to our
Well,
sort of as an
we
extension.
should really give more of a shout out to the ones that have let us perform there.
That's
Yeah.
true. In
Like-
which case, I mean, we have to start with PCC because that's where
Exactly.
it starts.
Phoenix Comic Con absolutely was our biggest platform.
Right.
And they're such great people too. I mean, we're all friends. We have a fantastic time working with each other.
I can honestly say that of the entire PCC, like, tapestry of people, I only hate like one or two of you.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's a lot of people that
Yeah,
go.
absolutely. I think that's a fair
I
assessment.
don't think I have any hate. I mean, there's people that obviously no one's going to get along with everybody.
Right, yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's people you prefer and there's people you don't prefer, but I don't say there's a hate I have for any one person.
So
All right.
if there was a cliff at PCC and someone tripped, you'd actually not mind, or
It would depend. Okay, maybe one person. There's one person I wouldn't mind
All
if
right,
they disappeared.
let's move on here.
Also Icon, we performed at Icon just recently. First year of Icon.
And we got to do it.
Yeah, I know.
Bragging rights, y'all.
It was a lot of fun. Really awesome local toy show, convention, whatever you want to call it in this case. I can't wait to see what happens as far as their continued years. So
Cats. Also TCC, who let us have a table.
what's with all these abbreviations? Can't you say Tucson Comic Con?
That's what I wrote down.
all right. So
And it's not as if we're not going to talk about it. So
yeah, we did
It's like I can only read what I
I can
wrote.
only read, yeah.
traveled down south to Tucson for Tucson Comic Con last November. Our very first table at a convention ever. It was a really interesting experience. We learned that we do need more shit to peddle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you have any ideas for cool 3 Drunk Geeks merchandise
That
be
you
sure-
would like to buy.
yeah, or just that you like to maybe help us make, you can always email those suggestions to us at 3drunkgeeks. Wait,
At gmail.com.
at 3drunkgeeks
Yeah,
at
you're
or
right.
drunk at
gmail.com.
3drunkgeeks.com or
Actually, those don't work anymore.
Oh, they
I
don't?
stopped paying for them.
Oh, good.
$70. $70 a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't need that nonsense.
Damn
Exactly.
expensive emails.
Well,
anyway,
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that we don't need that.
no,
We don't need that shit no more.
Pop Culture Paradise, our local comic book store
absolutely.
around here,
Yeah.
helped us out quite a bit.
I mean, I have a box there. You've got a box
Right.
there. That's
Neil
where
doesn't yet, but
I'm gonna.
Soon.
I should
that's
probably
where we
set
get
one
our comic books, and that Marco, the owner of Pop Culture Paradise, did a fine gentleman who
friend of the show.
yeah,
Yeah.
who has supported us in the past and lets us
And
put out
he
business
just
cards
gave
there.
us, yeah, and he gave us those passes to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
It was
screening.
because of Marco of Pop Culture Paradise that we got to see an advanced screening of Guardians of the Galaxy.
And
which
you know
is
what?
awesome.
That sort of brings us, interestingly enough, that kind of brings us full circle because I don't know if you've heard the first episode we ever did, The Cage.
Oh.
Which we are
That's
now
bullshit.
celebrating the 2-year anniversary of, although it happened
You're
about
right.
2
No.
years ago.
Well,
One of the first things we talked about was Guardians of the Galaxy and how, like, if you remember, like, we were kind of skeptical going into it. Like, the idea just like, oh, here's a fucking raccoon, here's a fucking walking tree guy, like, hoop-de-shoot. Like, it's fucking, like, it was weird to us at the time. And I think it was still, as we were going in, still kind of weird to us, but we've actually seen the movie, and if you listen to our last episode, what was it, Monkey Star Trek?
Monkey Star Trek, right?
The one that we just put out, if you want to hear our review on that, listen to that one. But it's interesting that we're kind of coming full circle here.
I mean, I think we can all just briefly summarize our review right now and just say it was fantastic.
Oh,
it was
amazing.
ginormous.
If for some reason you haven't seen it on opening day, go see it. Like, see it as soon as you possibly can, because it's really such a great, great Marvel film.
Right. So that's the end of our
That's the end of
shout-outs?
our that's a long list
the
of
end of our
anniversary
shout-outs.
shout-outs.
Well, if we forgot someone, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Like we could always shout out all the fans in
Yeah.
Phoenix and Tucson
Thank
and
you.
abroad.
And in Florida.
and
Yeah.
and
We
Poland.
have a strong fan base in Florida.
We forgot to mention that we love Tiny Panda.
We do.
And that Tiny Panda loves us.
She sure
She is a hardcore fan, and we
Yes.
do love her. So yeah, thank you to all of you who follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and wherever we are internet
Tumblr.
presence is
We're on
found. Geek
Tumblr
News
now.
Network. We're on Tumblr.
I just did our first Instagram co-post to Tumblr.
oh
Really?
boy, high five!
Right.
See, we're getting with it. We're learning how to be,
Learning how to internet.
We're learning how to internet. We're learning how to do the social
We'll
media
learn how to
thing.
tumble soon, hipsters. Just you wait.
All right. So let's talk about, it's been 2 years. It's been a long 2 years. But how did we get started with this?
I think whenever we tell the origin story of the podcast, we have to go back to Phoenix Comic Con. Because really the soul of the show starts in 2012.
Yeah, 2012. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah,
I feel like it
2012.
started earlier than that.
So that was the first year we did panels.
Yes, no, absolutely. But I feel like we were doing something very regularly for the longest time, and that was going out to a $2 beer night at Fox and Hound.
That's right. Yeah.
Out in Gilbert before the Fox and Hound closed. Now,
Because $2 pints.
yeah, it's
Jesus
$2 for
Christ.
any pint of beer. It's a
You could
pretty-
go get a
Which includes
$2 Guinness, and nowhere, not even in a store, can you buy a pint can for anything less than $3.
Yeah, so it was a good deal. But the thing is, we'd sit around and we'd get drunk, and us being the nerds that we are, we'd start having stupid conversations about Star Trek and Star Wars and who would win in a fight, the Hulk versus Superman.
Just
and
screaming these things out, like freaking out other people in the bar.
Often.
Just
shouting in
broadcasting.
Klingon.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a
Calling each other names that you shouldn't use in public, and people
Right.
being like, "Did you really just say that?"
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not an N-word, by the way.
I never
Sometimes.
called you that in public.
Not in public. I can be your N-word though.
Ooh.
My N-word.
Anyway, so that's kind of where it started. And then our friend who we thanked earlier, Tom Hanks, came to me and said, I know you are really geeky and nerdy, and you're a big fan of Star Trek and Doctor Who and stuff like that. I had met Tom at Phoenix Comic Con 2011 when he was showing off his Doctor Who TARDIS bike. He has a motorcycle designed to look similar to a TARDIS.
A motorcycle that
TARDIS
has more fans than we do.
Yeah, no, it
Right.
does.
It's fucking retarded.
Google TARDIS bike. His will be the first thing that comes up.
If you see a goofy-looking 10th Doctor, that's him.
Yeah.
Right.
But he came to me and said, I'm working for Phoenix Comic Con and we need panelists. And I said, okay. I know two perfect nerds for this.
By the way, just to sort of a digression real quick, Joshua Silverman's in chat right now.
Yay!
Hi, Joshua
He
Silverman.
says, "Stop teasing me with Guardians, damn it! I have 24 hours to go." Well, I guess that means we're going to have to spoil everything for you.
Right.
Groot is really a vegetable, not a
Right.
Yes. And
He's a
Nathan
giant
Fillion is a
carrot.
He's a
talking
big
dog.
cruciferous vegetable.
Anyway, no.
I didn't know what to say to that.
Yeah, no. I've got nothing there. But what were we saying here just a moment ago?
That Tom Hanks was coming to our thing.
Tom Hanks was the one who got us into Comic-Con. So we basically signed up for as many panels as we possibly could regarding Star Trek and Doctor Who.
Like
and things.
12.
Yeah,
It was insane.
And we were the science fiction fantasy programming that year at Phoenix Comic-Con, which was kind of fun.
No, it was definitely fun.
We had people start recognizing it, and then it was all over. It was all over in a flash of a weekend.
And we were like, no, this can't stop. This cannot stop. This can be more. There's got to
And-
be a way we can do this.
And in fact, like during we were sitting at Networks, I remember this conversation happening. We were sitting at Networks, and we were coming off the afterglow of a long, torrid, fucking sexy ass panel
That
we just
egotistical
did.
high.
That we did. We were soaking up the rays, the yellow sun from our people.
At the
I have no idea
time,
where this
there
metaphor is
might
going.
have been the glow for both of us.
Right.
Because we... How do we put this in
We
the-
seduced some fine young ladies.
Not so much. They came to us.
Which is-
We only by sheer happenstance did we happen to seduce them.
So
Right.
basically, what they're trying to say is that they got laid because they were
No, well,
Yes.
because they were
okay, Grover
because-
got laid,
Yeah.
and I got a ridiculous 3
You got
month
you
long
got a
distance
dickin.
relationship.
You got a dickin for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
It
kind
was
of got laid because they were on panels at Phoenix Comic Con
Yeah.
as experts.
But anyway, so we have this glow about this, and we want to keep it going. And I remember we were sitting down in Networks, the Hyatt bar. That's not the one on top. It's actually the one on the bottom. It's the bottom bar, I guess. And
There's the bar at the top, which is the restaurant.
Compass I
Doesn't
think.
matter.
Anyway,
Well,
so
we're gonna eat at the Compass next year.
Oh yes. Anyway, so
Tell
we're
a story.
sitting there and we're drinking and one of us brings up the idea of like we should be doing this as a podcast. And I think at least I've been having this idea of like doing a podcast for a very long time. I've always wanted to do like trivia or history podcasts, just basically because I've listened to podcasts all my adult life. So one of us brings that up, and then we start formulating this idea, and it germinates, and it becomes this sort of like definite thing that we're going to do in a few months.
Yeah.
It wasn't immediately.
No. But you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, it wasn't that long. I mean, it was the end of July.
The end of July, yeah.
We basically took 60 days to get our shit together and start trying to do this.
But do you remember leading up to that? I don't know if
It
you remember
was
this.
a pain in the butt trying to figure out how we could make
How
this
we're gonna
happen.
do it? And there was a lot of excuses like we can't do it this weekend because of such and such thing. Like there was a lot of that sort of like kicking it down the line. And then one day, one of you guys called me and we were talking about like possibly doing this podcast. And I said, no, listen, we just got to do this. Do you remember this? Remember having
I
that
vaguely
conversation?
remember that, yeah.
Like we have to do this no matter what, even if we have to do like it on an iMac using the integral mic. If that's the way we got to do it, then we got to do it, or we'll never do it. And so
we
We took your pad, right?
no, it was on the iMac originally. Long
on the
story
iMac.
short,
We did a proof at.
that's true. We did actually do an episode 0, which I no longer have, unfortunately,
thank God for that.
because there was a fight. Do you remember? There was a
Yeah,
fight.
Shut up.
We got drunk. It was at the Fox and Hound.
I might have thrown someone's phone.
yeah,
not
you're,
my own
You're a
phone.
jerk when you're drunk, Neil.
I'm a bastard.
You really
I
are.
really am.
So we did that, and then one day after having watched Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, we huddled in your shoebox of
Hot
an
box.
apartment room.
Studio
The Studio
Hot
Hot Box is what we eventually named it. Remember why we call it Studio Hot Box?
Because it was hot as shit. in there.
Because fucking it was hot as shit, and
And
every
we were
time.
smoking a bunch of weed in there.
Well, you guys were. I wasn't.
I
But,
didn't. I said we. I mean, that's technically.
we
Anyway.
like French. Anyway,
Yeah.
so but yeah, and that was sort of the first time we recorded the cage.
Yeah.
Um,
Please don't go listen to the cage. Whatever you do.
it's super
If
awkward.
you-
Actually, I wore this shirt to the bank today. Funny story about the cage. Some guy asked me, "Oh, are you into that? Do you listen to that a lot?" And I was like, "Oh, this? Yeah, I listen to it every week. I might actually even be on it."
That's a funny story, Neil.
No, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool. So what's that like doing a podcast?" And I gave him the quick spiel. Funny part was I was like, "You should definitely check us out, but if you do, don't listen to the cage. Start with ShamWowzers." And then he's like, "What was that?" And I was like, "ShamWowzers. Say that with me. ShamWowzers." And I was
ShamWowzers.
like, "One more time, ShamWowzers. Now you won't forget."
Our brilliant comeback episode after
Why are we all
Super
leaning
brilliant because we actually have people in the chat right now. talking
Yeah.
to us.
Oh,
Remember,
whoa.
we do have a
Real
we have it on the
quick.
big
How many people
screen,
do we have? On the,
We-
I can't see the screen. Remember,
Real
my
quick, we
glasses
have
are
Bear
gone.
Punch saying wave.
right?
Wave.
But I
Wait,
thought that
Bear
was
Punch
I
is
thought that
just
yeah, I'm
over.
a little confused
You
there.
can't be in the chat twice, dude.
Apparently,
Oh,
he
he's
is.
making us look awesome.
Yeah, and I have more people.
And we're screwing it up.
Shh, don't screw it up.
And Tiny Panda's
And we
there.
have Tiny Panda.
Tiny Panda!
Oh, she's having a poopy night.
Well, we hope it turns
she
into
can't poop, or she's wait.
too poopy, too much pooping.
Maybe she's just having a
I
bad
can't
night.
read it.
She says, "Thanks for the shout out, guys. You made my poopy night better." Smiley face. Hashtag
Aw.
Tiny Panda loves 3 drunk geeks.
I'm
Aw.
blushing. Tiny
Aw.
Panda.
That's awesome. I just can't read it. I actually lost my glasses at
Yeah.
Right before you're gonna go see Guardians of the Galaxy in 3D.
Poor Neil. Yeah, dude. Anyway,
Amazing.
I hate you so
Amazing
much.
luck.
But I got to see it was still a good movie. Like
Oh.
it was a movie that transcends visual effects.
you know it really does.
Like the humor is still very funny, even if you can't see it.
Josh Silverman says, "I can do what I
No, you
want."
can't. Not in our room.
I does what I wants.
Oh, anyway.
So The
So, yeah.
Cage, very terrible.
Oh, absolutely terrible. And that's why we called it The Cage, because we knew that as an homage to the original pilot of Star Trek, it was going to be terrible.
Right.
And that we didn't want people to watch it or listen to it.
Right, yeah.
But still the highest download of our shows ever. I think that's because when we started the show, there was an immediate, like, really good response to us doing a podcast.
Right, yeah.
And then people listen to The Cage, they're like, oh, I'm never listening to this
Yeah.
again.
It wasn't okay. To be honest, it wasn't that bad.
Yes, it
It
was.
was just super awkward.
No,
and
it
we
was-
Were,
We did not have.
we didn't have our
groove.
chops.
Stella did not get her groove back until
No.
season 1.5.
We may
Yeah.
not have even had a groove. at
We
any
got a groove when
moment.
we started doing the 6-pack all the time, and then when we moved on to the 12-pack, and then split up the 12-pack, that's when we started getting our groove.
That's true. Our show has gone into a lot of different formats. I mean, we started doing something we called the 6-pack in our original episodes.
Where we would do 6 nerdy news stories that you needed to know, and our discussion show all in one. So
Right.
it's kind of like what we're doing now, but I think our format is a lot better.
Right, because now
'Cause-
we don't have any specific number or whatnot.
We just have stuff we want to talk about, and
Right,
then we
yeah.
discuss it, and then we move on to snack
It's more
exploitation.
more organic, I think.
Absolutely. So
Well,
we're-
all we need to talk about too is our do wants, because that was one of the original segments on the show, other than us babbling
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
and shout outs.
Yeah.
It was really the original segment.
No,
to be
Do-
honest.
segment,
yeah,
yeah.
Do Want was the original segment, and that's for those of you who are finding us for the very first time. The Do Want is a really awesome segment where we where we scour the internet. That's the word I'm looking for.
Wait, but like
Oh.
trolling is like what is that? Troll the internet. I troll the internet sometimes.
You are. A
I
troll.
like to troll B.
Anyway, we scour the internet for the
troll me?
coolest, nerdiest, geekiest swag and gear and
Oh, lurk.
toys.
That's the word I was looking for.
all
lurk.
sorts of awesome stuff that we really want to spend our hard-earned dollar bucks on, but for one reason or another, we really shouldn't because it's
because I can't afford a house made out of a plane
right.
fuselage.
Right.
Basically, it's a greed boner that we get, and we want to show it to you.
yeah, it's really cool, nerdy stuff that you necessarily can't afford.
And that was it was one of the first things. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but the day before we did the podcast, when we were going to go see Dark Knight Rises, we were at the I think in Chandler, I think it was an AMC in Chandler, and we were in a
Buffalo Wild Wings. for
Buffalo Wild
beforehand.
Wings with Dan Anderson and the two fine ladies from the time before we were
yeah.
talking about, and we sat and actually we had Dan Anderson actually
Was Dan
contributed.
there?
Yeah,
I don't
Dan
recall.
was there. Dan watched it with us,
Yeah.
if you remember correctly,
I don't.
and he actually contributed to us formulating our show. Like, it was 6-pack was kind of his idea.
No, it was, and so
Um,
thank you, Dan.
Yeah, or Jack, whatever.
But yeah, so we did the 6-pack for a while as part of the show, and then it became a 12-pack, and the 12-pack became its own entity for the longest time.
Yeah,
Which I kind of miss doing the 12-pack because it kept us up on our chops and our ability to read the screen.
No.
Or not the screen, but the copy.
pieces of paper.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the 12-pack, but
It's an info dump, and it is too much stuff going on in your fucking head at one time for people to actually listen to.
And it took a lot of time out of my week too, especially around a time when I was writing my thesis. So it was hard for me to do.
Yeah. But it was a great experience for us. I mean, and it helped us figure out what we want to do with this podcast. Since we came back from our hiatus after kind of reformatting yet again, I think we're finally in a good spot.
Yeah, we're hitting our stride again.
We have more listeners now
We're
than
going to
ever.
start doing more video too.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what this whole experiment's about. So,
Right.
So let me ask you this: what is your favorite moment from doing the podcast?
Oh, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah, no, I was not.
Because
Yes.
I think it might be a unanimous decision or a unanimous thing here. Actually, I have two.
Okay, tell me yours, and I'll tell you.
Okay,
if I
I'll
agree
pick
or not.
mine. Is having gone to TCC, Tucson Comic Con, with our table, we sold enough money. We sold enough of our swag to get enough money to go to Kontiki afterward,
And
then just got wasted as fuck. And we ate
Yeah.
a bunch of really terrible but great food. And
Not terrible food, but terrible for
Yeah,
you.
terrible for you.
Yeah.
We
Like,
love
don't
pubs
take
and-
that as don't go to Kontiki.
No,
like their
please
food
go
is
to
amazing.
Kontiki.
yeah, the food's amazing. The drinks are awesome. The music could be better, but
They
beyond
should
that,
play some Martin Denny in there.
There should
Freaking
be
Arthur
more-
Lyman.
there should be more luau tiki music in there instead of top 12. Sounds like Kiss
Right,
FM in
yeah,
there.
It's to bring the kids in.
It is to bring the kids in. But yeah, Kontiki in Tucson, really awesome place. Let's see here.
So that does rate on my moment, but I want to say, I don't know. Meeting Kevin Eastman, doing that whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was an
Pretending like
interesting
we
day.
were real reporters or journalists was kind of one of
It
the most
was
fun things
fun.
we've ever done.
No, yeah, no, that's a great one. I'm surprised I didn't think about that, Neil. Thanks again to Hong Lee of Geek News Network for getting us in connection with Kevin Eastman at a screening for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that they did out here in Arizona a while back, and we got to pretty much hang out with the guy almost the entire night. He's like, because he never knew when we were going to be able to interview him, so he's just like, follow me, stay with me.
Right.
So
He seemed to like what we were all about because he didn't seem that like he was friendly, of course, but he didn't seem like he was being as like happy with the tagging along bit with other people who were like sort of tagging along.
Yeah,
Right.
we explained our premise to him. Like, yeah, we're nerds, we drink, and we have good times and talk about it. And he was like, oh, you drink?
and we were born
Yeah.
in
We could tell that he was a
Drinking?
fan of drinking because he had a drink
Yeah.
with him.
and we were born in the '80s, so we're very
Did
familiar
we
with
buy
the
him a
material.
drink? We should have bought him a drink. God damn it.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
Kevin,
told you that at...
Kevin Eastman, the co-creator of Teenage Mutant
Serial
Ninja
Pharrell.
Turtles.
Serial Pharrell!
This is the nerdy one of the nerdy cats that we have living in this house, and this is Serial Pharrell, the first cat of Bravos.
Right.
He's making a cameo here on this 2-year anniversary special.
Oh, he's just going to fall asleep behind Grover.
Yep.
Yeah. He's
The
my
guy
pillow,
allergic
actually.
to the guy
Allergic to
cats.
clats.
Cat's like, what? You're on my couch.
Dude, he will actually sit there with your head on him.
Yeah, no,
won't
he
move.
is a pillow.
He
Yes.
is. He is. A
He's
pillow.
too dumb to move. Anyway,
He
Too
is.
dumb
He's-
to live, too weird
No,
to die.
he is dick butt all around. He is.
he is the dick butt.
We call him dick butt.
But yeah, so
Like not cereal. We call him dick butt. Seriously, it's
But-
a thing.
Kevin Eastman video is on our YouTube. Check it out. Awesome interview with him. Cool guy.
And I'm glad he answered that question. I was so stoked that he actually was okay with that.
Right.
Like,
So yeah, check out that interview. Leave that little tidbit for reason to go onto our YouTube. Check out our interview with the co-creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mr. Kevin Eastman. So beyond that, why are we waving?
I was waving goodbye to Bear Punch.
Oh,
what
bye.
did he say?
Oh, bye.
He's got to go take care of
sick wife. Oh, I hope your wife gets better, Bear Punch. Oh, anyway,
penicillin.
Don't
Yes.
let her drown your baby.
no,
Postpartum depression is a thing.
she hasn't given birth yet.
Oh, I thought she did.
Prepartum.
No,
Who just gave birth then? Oh, that was
Kobe and
Dusty.
Jade?
No, that was Dusty too.
Oh yes, Dusty also
A
recently. had a baby.
lot of babies
Lot of
popping out of
babies.
a lot of people.
None
None
of
of-
babies this summer.
None of us are having babies, right?
No.
Well, I cannot asexually.
I really
reproduce.
hope that you don't have any babies anytime soon, Grover.
Me and
Me.
Grover were thinking about having babies someday.
Right. I'm gonna somehow impregnate his stash.
I'll get the turkey baster.
Oh gosh.
All right. So yeah, we went through a lot of different changes with our podcast, and we've come a long way. But it all does deeply go back to Phoenix Comic Con. So that for me is probably one of my biggest memories as far as not in 2012 actually, but in 2013 we did a live podcast at Phoenix Comic Con, and it was our first time appearing at the convention as the Three Drunk Geeks. It was the first time doing a podcast in person. And we had an amazing response.
It was we filled a 135 seater basically,
I think a little bit more than that.
and
but yeah.
people were lining the walls.
Exactly.
And wanted to get in.
Yeah.
like,
Very few people ever got up and left. A couple people got offended, but we
the
do
first
that.
time? Are we talking about the first?
The first time, yeah.
Yeah.
The first.
That
live
was
podcast.
awesome.
It was really good. I'm sad that we didn't get to do it
Because
this year.
it was like, you might just want to leave now because we talk about things like rape.
Yep.
Rapity rape.
Rape,
And then
drugs.
like this whole like 5 people just got
Yeah,
out.
an
But then
entire-
there were
an
like 5
entire row
people
of
waiting to get
prudes.
in. We're like, oh,
good
look.
times.
Our fans are like shark teeth. Like some drop out.
And then they're the
More time to
immortals.
fill
They're
the
like
place.
the immortals
Yeah.
of the Persian army.
Yeah.
So for me, that's my favorite podcast.
There are
ever.
sullied.
I did that show with no voice.
We don't have
It was
unsullied. We have only the sullied.
We have the sullied.
We are the sullied. All right, so yeah, I guess that's a good thing. Let me ask you this: what's something you'd like to see us perhaps do in the next year?
I think we've said video a lot, and I think that sort of goes without saying.
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
I do agree that we need to
Go back to Disneyland.
go back to Disneyland. How
and
about-
actually do a podcast from our room when
Yeah, I would
No.
like to do more on location.
we should do a
podcasting.
podcast from
more
the.
Gonzo podcasting.
We should do a podcast on Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Oh my god.
I'd be
How would
okay
we
with
do-
that.
Okay, you have a tablet. You have
Yeah.
it hidden in your butt.
Right. I can hide a tablet in
Does
my
your
butt.
tablet have a USB input?
No.
Do they make those?
I think Nexus ones, like the
Because
Nexus
I was going to
7.
say we could take our little webcam there.
Right.
That thing's small enough. We could hide that in a pocket.
Well, I mean, it has an integrated thing. If you don't remember, the first time we ever went to Tucson Comic Con as a group, Oh wait, no, this is a different time. I'm sorry, actually.
When we went to
But
see Iron Sky.
No
we went
wonder
to go
why we
see
don't remember.
exactly when we went to go see Iron Sky. It was just around the time we took our first hiatus. We actually did a sort of a podcast that never made it anywhere, basically.
So why would they remember if they
But
never?
I'm asking you if you guys remember this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we
this is
actually
us.
we actually did this. We actually did a podcast on an iPad that we had propped up on the dashboard while you were driving.
I was
Oh,
I
driving.
remember
drive.
that.
You were
Yeah,
driving.
Neil almost killed us
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's still. I think that's on our drive. We could probably release that someday.
someday.
It is a full podcast. It is
It's the entire drive
six
from
pack. And it's
from
Here
three
to
drunk
Pizza.
geek vaults.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, good
Yeah.
lord.
We
Anyway,
talked about our favorite movies and shit.
yep, good times.
So we could do that. We could actually do
What
that.
was some of the? What would you say is let's see. What would you say is some of your favorite topics that we've discussed? On the podcast. I mean, we've had
Oh my god.
we've had a lot of stuff to talk about.
We have. We have.
Can you even?
Oh man, we've done so many shows. I think we've done in total about 100 shows.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel like we've covered so much of like what nerd history in the last couple of years. Like
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of things happen to the community. That's pretty amazing actually.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And also sometimes not so good.
right, not so good. People.
I
getting
like our first
killed.
episode. We talked about the shooting in Aurora.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
super sad.
You're right.
Still sad.
Our very first episode, we did talk about it. Happened right after the Aurora, Colorado shooting in the Batman Dark Knight Rises screening.
I think the thing that we covered, like a story, the one that probably gets me more excited was when epised 7
Yeah,
was just announced. Like, and the lead up to that, because George Lucas had just sold LucasArts to Disney.
Yes, I do remember us having a very good discussion about
Yeah.
the Disney acquisition of Star
Oh
Wars.
no, Jessie can't comment, but she's watching.
Oh,
Aw.
And she says, I logged in, but I can't comment. Still, congrats. Thanks for the shout out. I love you guys, but you most of all, you're my heart.
She's talking to James, or
She's talking to me. You ass.
All right, so let's see here. What else have we got to talk about here?
I would like to mention that, there are a lot of things in our podcast that we start going off topic on.
All the time.
And a lot of times you say the famous phrase, that's for another podcast.
Yeah.
What
Right.
we promise to you now is we're going to start going through those, finding those things that we didn't discuss and discuss them.
Some of those things that we say are not for another, are for another podcast, are wholeheartedly inappropriate for us to go into depth.
which
with.
is why we should do it, because inappropriate things are what we're good at.
Yeah.
It's true. This is true. Three drunk geeks offending everyone.
Yes,
That's
yes.
how we do it. And it is our birthday, and I just remembered.
I was gonna say, yeah,
It's about that time.
It's about that time. I'm going to do some stuff. I'm going to need my hands. Are
Right,
you guys
right.
going to be cool to
Yeah, that-
yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
we can
narrate
vamp. We can
for me?
vamp. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and do what you need to do here.
All right.
Now, what Neil's about to do here in this case, because it is our 2-year anniversary / our birthday, whatever you want to call it, we are celebrating with a birthday shot today that Neil is going to be making out of several wonderful ingredients. Now, sadly, Grover will not be joining us because he is on a diet.
Mm-hmm.
He's watching his lady figure, and as I'm looking at myself here on the camera, I am wanting to do the same. So,
Yeah, actually, the sort of joke's up. That's not a Moscow Mule. That's just ice water with lime in it.
oh,
Oops.
you could have.
Well, I mean, you've already said that I'm not drinking, so.
No, you could not. You could avoid the horribly sugary beverage with chocolate liqueur and birthday
Yeah.
cake vodka.
I really want it because I feel like it's important to.
It is important.
But,
You could always just go spit it back up later.
just vomit.
Yeah, 2 fingers down your throat.
No, thank you. I like my esophagus where it is.
Your esophagus will be fine. All right, so yeah. Oh, the lovely
Okay, so-
Neil White. We've got
Fan of
360
Picard.
double chocolate vodka, Smirnoff birthday cake vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Talone chocolate liqueur, which frankly you can use any chocolate liqueur. Talone is just pretty good at a very reasonable price.
Yeah, it's not like a Godiva.
And it's creamy, and it works well with this type of shot that I'm going to be making here.
Absolutely. And then we finally have a bottle of Chambord. So for just a quick little splash of Chambord flavor there. So you're gonna start.
Just two for us, right?
Yeah, just the two. So
I'm going to start with 360 double chocolate. I'm going to do a half.
I don't know if they can hear you because you're not talking into a mic.
I'm telling you guys to tell them.
Ah, gotcha.
So 360 double chocolate, half ounce.
Okay, so we got 360 double chocolate, half ounce.
Okay.
And since it's two, I'm going to be doubling it up.
All right, so we're just making up this vodka here. All right, and we
I'm going to have to steal that I'm gonna have.
You were not prepared.
I am not prepared. No, because I left it on the side.
And again, this is why we're choosing to
Yeah.
experiment with our live stream in here.
Because eventually,
It doesn't want to come out.
Ah, fuck it, we're doing it
shit.
live.
doing it live. Fucking thing sucks. Are you gonna like? He's going to get a chainsaw to
Yep.
Open this.
Oh,
Because this is actually something I'd like to do more of. Like, I want to see more videos of us like drinking and like doing more creative.
well, as soon as
stuff.
you're no, okay. Here's my pledge to viewers. As soon as Grover is done with his diet, we are going to have the most epic live stream ever and play Edward 40 Hands.
Right.
Now, for those of you unfamiliar with Edward 40 Hands, basically it's a fairly simple concept. You have a friend, duct tape a 40 to each of your hands,
Right.
and you must finish said 40s before you are allowed to unduct tape your hands.
And then pee, because like really that's the goal line, right?
Yeah.
Like the yellow tape in this game, if it's like a marathon, the yellow tape of this game is your zipper because you want to go through it and then go pee because you've had so much alcohol.
You have
Right.
to prepare it properly.
Right.
So you might want to wear something like a kilt or a bath towel.
Yeah.
or just no pants.
If you don't have a drinking kilt, you're probably not well prepared.
I'm gonna
Just-
have to
and for
buy me.
life.
I'm gonna have to buy me a drinking kilt before we do this.
Right.
Yeah. And have to learn how to hold my penis with 40s in my hands.
Up next, we have Smirnoff caked vodka, iced cake vodka. We're going to do a half ounce of that, and we're going to double that up because it's for two of us.
So we did a half ounce of the double chocolate, a half ounce of the cake.
Of course, I get the one that's fucking clogged.
Oh,
Fucking kidding me.
just do a little splash in there. You'll be fine.
No, this is not how we do things.
Not how we do things here. All right, so there we go.
There we go.
Half ounce of that. Sounds good. And you're gonna do.
Talon. We're going to do a splish splash of Talon.
A splish splash of Talone.
Splish splash. I was making a drink.
Okay, Talon, excellent coffee liqueur or
Chocolate.
liqueur. We're going to be using the fancy Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch tonight, Chambord. Chambord is a fantastic raspberry liqueur, black raspberry. I should be more specific. James and I one night went through all of the black raspberry liqueurs that we have, which includes the
We have one
cheap
from like every grade.
Yeah, we have like cheap Potters, we have razzmatazz, and then we have this. And to be honest, there's a reason why this is like $30 a bottle.
Exactly.
Because
So,
it is the best.
splurge. If you like raspberry liqueur, don't buy cheap crap. Buy Chambord. Just it is worth the money.
It is.
And also, a place that I've noticed has sales on it all the time is Safeway.
Safeway honestly has like some of the best sales. Like I'll go in there and I'll see Crown Royal on sale for like $13.99.
Right. Yeah.
Which is funny
Seen that,
because
yeah.
Safeway's like normal prices kind of blow. However, like their sales are really good. So, okay, so we've got basically. I'm not sure, Neil. You just had it a moment ago, didn't you? Or did you? Oh, maybe when you were filling with ice.
Yeah.
Poor Neil is not prepared. So, Neil, that was a half ounce of everything, right? All right, so we
Pretty
got
much, yeah.
Let's just to recap this birthday shot that
It
Neil
was
left.
getting cold.
Neil left the top in the freezer because he's a dummy. All
Oh, is it
right,
cold?
so. All right, we got, just to recap here as he's shaking this up, a half ounce of 360 double chocolate vodka, half ounce of
Yeah,
Smirnoff
shake it.
cake vodka, half ounce of Talone
You know how Daddy
chocolate
likes it.
liqueur, any chocolate liqueur will do, and a half ounce of Chambord. Shake over ice and pour into a shot glass. We got like a chocolate birthday cake here with a raspberry layer. Sounds amazing.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah. I mean, we do live in the Southwest. Like every Mexican cake ever has fruit in it.
It's true.
It's true. You can't go to Food City without buying a cake that has fruit in the middle of it.
Food shitty.
Food City. All right. So, Grover, we will pretend that you care.
Right.
I do care. I just
I
He
just want to
cares
spill
about
this
his
all over
health.
your white pants.
I care about my.
All right. So, happy birthday to the three
feminine
drunk
figure.
geeks.
Happy
May we
birthday
have
to
many
us.
more celebrations.
I love you guys and hate you at the
I
same
love
time.
you and hate you. I want to smother
I
you
just
in your
hate you.
sleep. Well done, Neil.
That was good.
It
That
was
is
really good.
fantastic. Okay, we are coming up on almost an hour's time here. So, before we end the shenanigans here tonight, I do want to let our viewers know that we are going to be running a contest from August 1st, 2014 to September 1st, 2014. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/3 drunk geeks, and we'll be sharing a special 2-year anniversary or 2-year birthday picture featuring us as the characters from Barney and Friends.
Right.
Barney, Baby Bop, and what was the Triceratops name? Does anyone remember?
Billy Kibby.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Anyway, Jeff drew this up in honor of our 2-year anniversary, our
I don't remember who I was.
2-year birthday. I think you're Baby Bop.
Was I Baby Bop?
Yeah.
I thought I was the yellow one.
No, he's the yellow one.
I'm the yellow one. I'm always the yellow one.
You are yellow.
Because of Stannis Baratheon.
All right, so
fuck that guy.
we're going to be sharing this. Now, the goal of this is that you are to share this picture and, of course, make sure that you like our page.
Because sharing is caring.
Right.
And caring means sharing.
For every share that you make of this picture, you will be entered in. You will receive an entry into our contest that will run through September 1st. This is our 2-year anniversary contest, and the winner, chosen on September 1st, will receive a gift certificate to thinkgeek.com. I'm thinking in the amount of $25.
That sounds fair.
And at that point, they will also receive a special 3 Drunk Geeks t-shirt, probably some stickers.
Designed specifically by me and Grover.
Right.
Whilst we are drunk.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So expect
it will be
unicorns shitting out cheeseburgers.
I am still waiting for that
I know.
image to happen.
Jeff Jones, you need to get to work on that
if he
unicorn shitting out
doesn't,
cheeseburgers.
I will do it.
We
I
have
will
given
figure it
him
out.
at least a
Ample
year.
time.
Make them bacon cheeseburgers with Gruyere cheese.
We cannot see that kind of detail on the cheeseburgers that will be shot out by the rainbow.
What if we just have a
By the
close up on like the unicorn anus?
No.
How do you know it's a unicorn's anus? It could just be
There's a
horse.
horn coming out of it.
Because if it's just like a regular horse anus, that's just perverted. But if it's a unicorn, it's magical.
magical, yeah.
Exactly.
What? Well, how do we know?
That's what I just said. How do you know?
All right.
We
So
have to show the front of the unicorn.
Right. So you can, if you want to wear that kind of thing on your torso, definitely share our photo.
probably won't be a unicorn shitting out cheeseburgers, but it will give you a cool 3 Drunk Geeks t-shirt,
Right, and
stickers,
some stickers, and some
Or
other
there
swag.
might be a really small unicorn at the bottom.
and a
shitting out cheeseburgers.
thinkgeek.com gift certificate. Best swag
But
out there for geeks.
listen,
You should
man.
really be excited about the T-shirt,
Right.
Because there's only going to be one, and once
you
we
will
do
be
it,
our walking marketing board.
Right.
we might make some for ourselves.
It'll be rad as fuck.
and then delete the picture
Yes.
forever.
But we'll make this happen. Anyway, gentlemen, do you want to add any closing thoughts before we go off the air here?
No?
We're done already.
It's been about an hour, bud.
We had
Jeez.
one beer.
I know. We've been talking. We've been reminiscing, having a good time.
Hey, listen, if you really enjoyed this podcast streamed on Ustream, let us know because we can make it a lot better and we can do a lot more for it.
Right. We're working.
But like we don't have the confidence to do it ourselves. We need you to artificially fill us with pride. And make
Grover
us do
wants you to fill
things.
all his holes
I want every
with
one of
pride.
my orifices, my pride orifices filled by
With
my
wacky glue.
fans.
With
Yes.
wacky glue. I can't hear you. I said I filled every single one of my orifices with wacky glue.
All right. So, oh, I'm so sorry, Neil. But I will say your shot was amazing, delicious.
Thanks, dude. I've never made that before.
It was good. Good.
It was just sounded right in my head.
It worked perfectly. So, if you happen to enjoy this video, be sure and check out the 3 Drunk Geeks on Facebook at facebook.com/the 3 Drunk Geeks. Excuse me, facebook.com/the 3 Geeks.
That's right. And also twitter.com/3 drunk geeks. That's the number 3, not the letter 3. If you use the letter 3, you're going to get something else.
Hey, I'm a big fan of Instagram, Untapped, and a lot of other mobile apps. And as, honorary app master, I say check us out. We will always be the 3 Drunk Geeks. Something I know that my Untapped personally is 3DGMP. Our Instagram is 3 Drunk Geeks.
I'm James Laird on Untapped.
Right, you are James Laird on Untapped. You are so very pretty.
I tend to be so very pretty, either with or without underscores or periods.
Yeah, on both Instagram and Untapped. Untapped is amazing. I am actually addicted to it. It rewards my rampant beer love.
If you want to feel like you drink with us, or you want to drink with us, like, and not necessarily in like a show kind of way, like that's the good way to do it because we'll look at what you're drinking, you'll see what we're drinking.
Or if you trust my
Nice.
opinion of beer, you can look at my ratings and see what you might like yourself.
Fantastic. Now, really quickly, before we go on to the next thing, I do see that we got another message here from Pumpkin King 88. It says, glad I was able to see you guys. It's been a long time, James. I'm not sure who Pumpkin King is.
Who are you?
Yeah, but
Clarify on your identity.
that's okay. But anyway,
No.
It
wait.
has been a long time, Pumpkin King.
Maybe it's.
Do you think that's
I don't know.
is that Jay Sullivan?
No problem.
No, he's not a
No.
king.
And he's not 88. He's not from 88 either. He's
Oh,
older than I am.
86, isn't he?
Yeah, he's older than I am. Anyway, so but don't let him know that we
Who's
said
Pumpkin
that.
King?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No,
Pumpkin
it doesn't.
King
Where
thinks
else
it-
can they find us? Let's see.
It's your turn now.
Yeah, it is my turn. So you can also find us on YouTube at youtube.com/3 drunk geeks. Again, the number 3. And this
Squeak.
oh wow, that is a long time.
Who's Squeak?
Friend from Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Holy
many
shit.
moons ago. Anyway, so check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/3 drunk geeks. This video will be up on YouTube. You might be watching it on YouTube now if you're still watching this for some silly reason.
Indeed. And hey, listen, I would say that the easiest way to get our podcast is by going on to this magical thing that everyone has on their computers. It's a little thing I like to call iTunes. You go onto that iTunes. I'm so used to it, like it doesn't even faze me. You go onto that iTunes, you search the 3 Drunk Geeks, and you know what happens? It comes up with this thing, this beautiful picture of stuff and things, and it has like the
Stuff and things.
stuff.
Has a 3.
You love
As a
stuff and
3,
things. Right.
and you can subscribe to our podcast, and you'll get our podcast every week or whenever we release them, usually every week. And also, you can rate and review us on that as well. That actually gives us more exposure
Absolutely.
on iTunes, which is always good.
We try and always record Wednesday nights as of lately and release by Friday morning. So, and we've been doing pretty good about keeping up on that schedule.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to shoot for at this point.
Well, if you're going to talk about iTunes, I guess I'm going to have to talk about Stitcher Radio. The Stitcher Radio app is a mobile app. Actually, it's a website as well if you go to stitcherradio.com. But check out the mobile app either through the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Download it, and you'll have access to us and thousands of other podcasts, news stories, comedy things, historical things.
Or religion, if that's your bag.
Yeah, they actually have
They've got everything.
literally something for everyone. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but it's not all as good as us,
Right.
because
Some of
not
it's
everyone
worse.
can be the 3 Drunk Geeks.
No.
Right.
I mean, and if you think we're bad, there's some really bad
Few-
stuff.
I can't
out
say
there.
that without a
Few
straight
people have the raw talent, podcasting talent that we have.
The
The
huevos.
chutzpah.
Oh, yeah, the
The
chutzpah.
chutzpah.
I was gonna say the huevos.
Anyway, chutzpah is a... Oh,
Yeah.
oh, what's that, Dylan? Oh my God! Now everybody's showing up.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Do we really turn off now?
Yeah. Well, we should wrap this up.
We
What's
can-
it
we can
say?
always
What's it
hang
say?
out
I
afterward.
can't read it. I can't read it.
It says, "Hey guys, started listening to you just yesterday and already hooked on
Oh,
the show.
snap.
Hope to see more." Aw, Dylan Burke. Well, thank you very much.
I appreciate that. That's.
Are you
that-
related to Delta Burke?
I
Shut
don't
up.
think so.
You shut
Anyway,
Because I had a crush on Delta Burke.
did you
back
watch
in the day.
Designing Women as a kid?
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
God.
on.
Okay,
My
so
mom
Mr.
was a
Burke,
lady.
if you're interested in seeing the whole thing of this, we are going to load it to YouTube later. So please stay tuned.
But
Watch
only-
everything up into this point,
but
and then
only
you'll
you.
know what's going on.
Yeah. No. Anyone
one
still
else.
watching? Be sure and check us out on YouTube. We'll make sure this is released as soon as
So
possible.
he's catching the end. So it's like
That's a-
watching it's like watching that what's that movie? Fucking I had a
Memento.
joke
Pulp
for
Fiction?
I had a joke for this.
Anyway, no, we gotta wrap this thing up. My bladder is full. I gotta pee. I do not want to keep doing this. So let's.
You're allowed to go pee. We
No,
can.
no,
we
let's-
can.
let's
We're,
wrap
we're
this up.
this close to the end. Come on.
Yeah, so, all right, be sure and check us out on Geek News Network at geeknewsnetwork.net. You can find the 3 Drunk Geeks under the Networks tab. All of our recent podcasts are on there, and you can find all sorts of other great news on Geek News Network, of course, geared towards geeks.
2 whole years of podcast ridiculousness has been logged forever, for all time, on 3drunkgeeks.blogspot.com. Everything we've ever done that we posted to the feed is on that website. So if you go there, you can check us out. I do it sometimes, and I'm on the show.
No, yeah. Wait, you actually listen to our show?
No.
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 I have to listen to it every
I know,
week.
well, I've been listening to it with you. So,
Yeah.
anyway, what else can they do, Neil?
Where are we at?
We're at the end.
The end.
Yeah, you know what?
I
you know what-
kind of don't want to finish the end. Kind of like when I watch TNG, and I won't let that last season kind of not watch it because I didn't want
No,
D&G to be
this is
over?
more like the monster at the end of the book, and you don't want to turn the last page.
And the monster is me.
The monster is Grover.
Oh.
Anyway, but what can they do, Neil? What do we always ask
Our
they do?
favoriteest thing that we would love you so much
Yeah,
to
please,
do
please.
is please, pretty please, leave us a voicemail. Our voicemail hotline number is open now and is ready for you. No 900 number will ever
Real
compare.
podcasters getting really hot.
Really dirty.
Tell us what you're nerdy about.
Seriously though, leave us a voicemail.
Yeah, leave us a voicemail. Our phone number is 830-542-2260. Everybody?
Yep.
That's 830
Con!
0. That's con with 3 A's, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed.
All right, yeah. Be sure and leave us a voicemail. We will play it on the next episode of the Three Drunk Geeks. We love hearing from our fans. Your thoughts, your desires, your dreams, your goals, your heavy
It doesn't
breathing.
have to
but mostly
even
your
relate
desires.
to us. You could just call us up and be like, Josh was such an asshole today. He freaking threw my lunch out at the workplace that I work at and threw it into the trash without even asking if it was anyone's.
Yeah,
And I'm so mad.
Josh.
And we will comment and make Josh sound like an asshole.
Right.
We want
Josh
to
Silverman.
We want to laugh at your amusement. So
I don't know why I threw
we
you
want to
under
laugh
the
at your
bus, Josh.
misfortune. Is what I meant
Right,
to
yeah.
say. Not amusement.
We can laugh.
Anyway,
Either one.
so
If you can laugh at yourself, you're halfway there to.
if you can laugh at us.
Yeah. If you can laugh at us, you should be
It's,
laughing at
it's
yourself.
yeah.
All right. So on that note, gentlemen, I think this is the time to wrap things up.
Okay.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
Cheers.
2 years. Here's to hopefully 2 and more. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yeah.
It clinks so well.
Later.